Hello, math students. Welcome back to our module on linear equations. This is lesson 5, and it is called Writing and Solving Linear Equations. Our goal for today we will practice writing and solving equations with geometry. So we're taking everything that we've learned so far and we're applying it to geometry because we all love geometry. All right, the question that I want you to think about in this lesson is, how can you use models to help you write an equation? So the reason that we're asking how can you use models to help you write an equation is because this is technically a model, okay? And what you're trying to figure out is, what is the size of x according to this model right here? And so what we know right here is that we see something in here that we could set up some equations. So I see an obtuse angle. I don't know what size it is. It is not a 180. It is not a 90 because we don't have a straight line. We don't have a straight angle. And we don't see the characteristics right angle telling us that it's a 90. But we do have some information that can help us figure it out. The information that I see immediately that helps me figure this out is I can write an equation for just this piece right here, because it tells us that this angle measure right here from this ray to this ray is 143 degrees. So now I know that I can write my equation that says 143 degrees equals 3x minus 5. Well, if you look at that, we know that this is a linear equation because my variable has an exponent of 1. So that means that I can solve it right now. And so now I'm just going to use what I learned in my previous lessons, is that I have to find the value of x. And the best way that we did that is to use a build and undo chart. So I'm going to take 143 is equal to 3x minus 5, and I'm going to create a build and undo chart. My variable is x. The first operation that I did was I multiplied it by 3, then I subtracted 5. So now I'm going to add 5 to both sides, divide by 3 on both sides, and I will know the value of x. So first thing on my list, add 5 to both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. When I have negative 5 plus 5, that gives me a 0 pair. So I'm left with 3x on the right-hand side of the equation. And then 143 plus 5 is actually 148. So now I know that 148 equals 3 times a number. So now I have to divide by 3. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times x equals x. And 3 goes into 148. 4, which is 12. 14 minus 12 is 2. Bring down the 8. And then 3 goes into 28. 9 times, which is 27, and 1 left over. So now I know that x is equal to 49 1/3. Let me do that math just to make sure that I did it right, because sometimes in your head you can get confused. So this goes in there 4 times, which is 12, 2 leftovers, 8, 3 goes into 28, 9, which is 27, and 1 leftover, so 49 1/3. Okay, so that means that x equals 49 1/3. Okay, so that means that I know that this little guy is equal to 49 1/3. And then I have to plug it in over here to figure out what this guy would be. So now I have to take 3 times 49 1/3, right? Which 49 1/3 is really 148 thirds, right? And then I'm supposed to subtract 5, and that will give me the angle measure. Okay, so 148 times 3 is 24, 12, 13, 14, and that's 3 and 4. So that's 444. So now I have 444 divided by 3 minus 5. Okay, so if I take 444 and divide it by 3, I know that goes once. So now that's 14. So now that goes 4. And then that is 8. So I know it's 148. 148 minus 5. And 148 minus 5 is 143. And did this match this? It absolutely did. So now you know that your value of x is correct. So our two angle measures, if we're answering the question, what are the sizes of both angles in degrees? The first little one is 49 1/3 degrees, and the other one is 143 degrees. Okay? All right, kiddos. So that wasn't very difficult, was it? All you had to do is remember the steps of how to build an equation and then use your BU chart to solve for the value and then go back in and figure out the sizes of both angles. So that was pretty easy. So basically this lesson today is just an applying lesson, taking everything that we've been working on and figuring it out. So our goal for today we will practice writing and solving equations with geometry, which is what we did. The question, how can you use models to help you write equations? The models help you see it, and it helps you set something up so that you can begin to work backwards to solve. Okay? That's all I have for you today. Take care. Bye.